Okay, so it is the very end of May, and we finally got a shipment of bees that we were expecting. This cage is from an old shipment I got a while back, but I just thought you might like to see what it looks like. It has a big hole here where there was a can of sugar syrup suspended. That was feed for the bees as they traveled. And it also had a little tiny cage for the queen and some of her attendants, which is suspended inside here. She's not loose with all the other bees because she could get crushed or injured, and they might not decide that she's their queen yet, so that could be bad. They need to sort of get to know each other. This is a cage like that one that I just showed you, but it is full of honeybees, and it's heavy. And smells like bees, and it's kind of hot. So I have a little spray bottle full of sugar water that I can spray on the bees when they're kind of cranky and loud, and it calms them right down and cools them off. So that's something that I can use to make them more comfortable until I can put them in a hive. Oh, one more thing. Today's hive is not your average hive. It is our Stephen Colbert hive. And though it is a temporary spot for the bees, I think it will be a memorable one for them. Okay, so we're at our Stephen Colbert hive. We're about to hive some honeybees. So I'll lift the lid off. So the queen is in here, and she's marked with a white dot. I don't know if you can see her. She's in there with some of her attendants. And these bees on the outside are very interested in what's going on. So I'm just going to leave that in there for now. Almost there. Just gonna have to leave this like that for now. And I'll check back. So a lot of people think that beekeepers just take sweet stuff from the bees all the time, but that's not actually always true. In the winter, I feed my bees sugar syrup, and when I have a brand new hive that's really, really small, and needs to build up a lot of foundation on the frames I put in there, I'll also feed them sugar syrup. And we have a brand new hive. It's a few weeks old now, in the Colbert hive, and they have a lot of work to do. Essentially, they have frames like this. This frame has a very thin sheet of beeswax foundation in it. And they will build lots and lots of hexagonal cells on each side of this and fill those up with brood and nectar. But it takes a lot to do all that work. It actually takes about 8 pounds of nectar to make 1 pound of beeswax. So that's why I like to feed them, to sort of help them do their work. Remember that jar that I had? It has lots of little holes in the cap, and when you turn it upside down, just enough comes out that the bees can go under there and sip nectar as they need. This is one of my smaller, newer hives. We're going to put this feeder down in that wooden feeder. There's a little entryway for the bees to go through and up, and they can get access to the nectar when they need it. So that's a small version. In the Colbert hive, We're going to use a huge version, which I'll show you right now. This is our enormous feeder. You put the liquid in the middle, and the bees come up underneath and sip a little bit of nectar right along the top. So we're going to put this right on top. This is a big batch of nectar I just made. It's not dripping, is it? So pouring it in. They are going to love this. Now I'm going to put an empty super just over the top. Okay, putting this on. And topping with the lid. And now they have a lot of nectar, so maybe they'll draw out some of that foundation. And then that's the Colbert hive taken care of.